I'm joined by Lee Sibley. Lee is from Green2 Delivery. Morning, Lee.
Morning. How you doing, John? You all right?
Fabulous. Thank you, my friend. And you?
Yeah, very well, very well. Sunny day, so can't complain.
So tell me about Green2 Delivery. Who are you?
So I'll start with basically Green2 Delivery. We carry out two-man deliveries throughout the UK on behalf of online retailers, both e-commerce and bricks and mortar. So we deliver the big and bulky items to your house that you purchase online conveniently. We have set out with a bit of a mission. We want to be the first 100% zero emission home delivery service. That goes through as well from the trunking all the way through to the last mile. So we're currently raising 7.5 million on a funding round, which should be finishing very shortly. And then we'll be building a network throughout the UK.
Wow. And that's to be net zero?
Yeah,
Fairly
net zero,
soon.
100%. Yeah, 100%. So the reason why is there's a big why to it, and the reason why we started set out on our journey, and that was basically we believe that really in our world, just because we're purchasing things conveniently online, we shouldn't be settled with an unsustainable way of receiving the product.
Yeah.
There should be, with convenience, a lot of the times with sustainable products, you're not it's not really a convenient way, or it's not cost effective, you know, and we believe that really it should be a cost effective way and also a sustainable way for you to conveniently purchase a product online and get it delivered to your house. So that's the reason why we've done it.
And people always think that sustainability and profit don't go hand in hand, but they can, can't they?
Yeah, very much so. Obviously, I don't want to put it out there too much, but yeah, with regards to the network and what we're doing, obviously the fuel costs are rising dramatically. Our electricity prices are rising as well. Don't get me wrong, but a different percentage.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can be profitable if you're doing it in the right way. If you've got the right beliefs, like we have, I do believe that it should be a very profitable business.
Now, we recently did the Great British EV Rally, didn't we? Taking electric vehicles from John O'Groats in the north of Scotland, all the way down through the UK, down to Land's End, right at the end of England. A journey of over 1,300 miles in electric vehicles. And they said it couldn't be done because, there's not enough charging infrastructure. Reality is, you drove a vehicle all the way down. Were you in a van or a car?
Yeah, we was in a Mercedes Vito. So yeah, it wasn't one of the biggest vans on the tour. I think the Ford Transit, the Transit were the biggest vans on the tour. But I mean, we had a great range. It was like 160 miles for a van. You know, it was quite good. The E-Transits were around about 120, 130. But yeah, it was amazing. What a tour! What an experience! Collaboration between all the teams was spot on. You know, it was great. We had great camaraderie between all the van guys. And obviously, I know you guys went one way, we went the other way. But then when we met up, it was a good laugh, you know, and what an experience. And it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem. I was a little bit tired after the rally. Took me 2 days to sort myself out. I had a bit of a fuzzy head, but I think I was just tired because we were getting back late. Obviously, we were having good networking afterwards, and then getting back early and getting out on the road to hopefully nick a charger before someone else gets there, you know.
So why did you get involved in the GB Rally? Because it is a bit of a mission, isn't it? And it's time out from the business when you've got that funding round, got lots going on. Why take part?
So, do you know what? It's really strange. We went to, obviously we've been building this network and building the business for quite a while now, and we've done a lot of in-house and in business. We already run a two-man delivery company in a diesel network. But for about 5-6 months, we've been designing what we're doing now with Green2. So we went to our first. It was actually fully charged live this year, sorry. And when we went there, we were just blown away by the EV network. And then we went to the ITT hub, and we're at the stage now where we can start looking obviously at purchasing things and what we're purchasing for the network, etc., etc. So it's a perfect time of going to these exhibitions. And so after that, obviously we found out about the EV Cafe, and we were obviously looking at and it was actually on one of the EV cafes, the first one we ever watched. And it was actually yourself. And at the time you were saying you were going to do it in the car with no food, no hotels. And we were like, that's a great idea. And we thought maybe we could do something like that, but we didn't have the kahunas, so to speak, to be able to think of even doing it in a van. So we were like, well, but we said, what a showcase. And it's also the sort of things, you have a lot of different people, they believe in different things, and you have a little, but you want to be the first, you know. It was one of the first, it was the first one to do it, the length of the country, to be a part of that experience, to do it in a vehicle, and to be at the perfect timing with our business, and showcasing what electric vans can do. It was just the perfect timing. So that was the reason for it. Yes, it was a week out of the business, but we thankfully enough have a great senior management team here, so we don't have to worry about it. But yeah, it was an amazing time, and I'm very grateful that we were able to do it.
I've said myself that it was actually the best week of my professional life. I'm 57 years old. I've been working now for 40 years, and without question, it was the best environment, the best community, the best collaboration I've ever seen to get 50 vehicles from the north of Scotland to the bottom of England. It's just superb, but it didn't all go smoothly. Were there challenges along the way? Loaded question.
The first day we absolutely smashed it. Yeah, so it was absolutely brilliant. We went down, I think it was Dundee, to the first stop of ours. Lorna at National Grid, she smashed it as well. She got there first and she was directing us in, and we thought we were coming last. We thought, oh my God, we're well late. And then all of a sudden we realized loads of people have had issues, not because of the infrastructure, but just because of different things along the route. And we come in about second and that, and it wasn't a race. The whole rally wasn't a race, was it? It wasn't something like that. But yeah, so we come in first, and we got to enjoy. There was a nice meal, I think, by Swarco put on, which was lovely, and we got to enjoy that, which was great. So that's our first taste of the day, and we think, yeah, this is lovely, this is brilliant. Goes to the second day, we just think we'll smash it again, and no, it didn't happen like that. And I think for some reason, there was many reasons along the way. I think towards the end we were changing. We had Mercedes as our guests, James and Jamie. And what we had to do is, obviously James left us on the Wednesday, then Jamie come up on the Wednesday, so we had to wait for them to swap over. So then that made a delay. We didn't get to Braintree Grid Serve until everyone had left. We were the last ones there. They were even putting away the flags and that, you know. But then that's what found, because obviously you guys went into London, and then you had a bit of an issue in London, unfortunately. And then so we headed straight round to Bristol, I think it was, after
that's
that.
Right.
So, but yeah, so I think the main thing for the rally, what we found, and I think what a lot of people found, I think Chris at Lex as well, where you're picking up people and then dropping people off along the rally, and you have to do that for different people to be a part of it, experience it. I feel the next rally that we do, we will definitely just have the team, and the team will be the team, instead of trying to mix in with other people and that, because unfortunately the main thing with it is obviously the collaboration. Now, if you're running late at the checkpoint at the end, and you're missing the collaboration, or you're missing that little bit of everyone turning up, I think that was a great part of it. So definitely next time will be the teams, and that'll be it.
That's really interesting, because when I talk to other people about driving an electric car a long way, they focus on things like the range, 160 miles in your van. Is that enough? Are there enough chargers? We got to chargers, they weren't working. And what's really interesting is none of those things are featured in your response to what were the biggest challenges. Yours is a people issue.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fascinating.
there was no issue with regard. I mean, look, the power card. Oh my days. What a tool. What an absolute tool. And the fact that obviously we didn't have to pay certain prices for the electricity at certain charging points was amazing, because obviously we had that as part of the package. But that power card, the fact that you could just, I mean, obviously you don't have to download so many apps, you don't have to, you just literally tap it. I mean, we were constantly, we had our favorite charging station. I don't know if I should be saying this on here, but Ionity for us was a lifesaver. We were searching out Ionity charge points, just because they're kind of a little bit out of the way sometimes, but also they're en route, they're nice quick chargers, and we liked the service when we first went to one. Not saying that any else was bad, because we went to grid serve, it was fine, everything was fine, but we just knew that kind of if we were looking for Ionity ones, we knew we were going to be kind of safe to a degree. But honestly, with regards to the mileage, with regards to the whole journey, there was no issues or no problem. I mean, myself, I don't know, obviously you're not on, I don't think you was on our group, but you would have seen that I proper tested the range out once. We went, and it was, I think I did around about 165 miles in the end, 170.
Wow.
Because I got to the charging point, I was on the little turtle come up, but the turtle had been up for ages, and we got to this, it was like, you know, when you're really stressed, you're like, oh my god, am I going to do it? Have I over pushed it, over egged it? When you see that charging station, it's like a halo. It's like, and your shoulders just you know. So I only pushed it once, and that was because of me. That was not a vehicle error or a charging error or anything like that. It was a human error that kind of was just seeing how much you could push it, you know. But there was not one problem. But the only problem is when we got down to the M25, and obviously, especially down to Exeter way, where you're competing with the public at certain times of the week. So if you know it's going to be a bank holiday, or if you know it's going to be a public thing, you've just got to plan that you're going to maybe spend an extra half hour, an hour on top of your charging time waiting for a charging point. And once you've got that in your head, then there's no issues at all.
And just following that through to what you do as a business, will you use for your deliveries your own charging infrastructure, or will you use public infrastructure, or a mix?
See, that's the thing. So that's why it took us so long to design a network, and it is based upon the charging network. We have to have our own depots with our own charging points as a business. The reason why we do that is we operate a back to base charging structure. Not only that, we are creating an opportunity for commercial vehicles to charge at our depots while our vehicles are out as well. So we are creating a commercial charging infrastructure throughout the UK for vans and HGVs. So it for us, it's hard. I know DPD, obviously, with regards to their drivers, they have subcontractor drivers who will take the van home, so therefore they will use the public infrastructure. But the thing is with the vans, they're bigger. They've got bigger batteries. They take longer on a charging point, you know. We'll only get to a matter of time when these people who, there's public there, they're a little bit more relaxed. When someone's working, they want to get in there. They don't care about annoying someone just to get on a charger, you know. And they want to get on there, get out first. So the mix of a commercial and a public infrastructure doesn't really sit well. The vehicles are obviously a lot bigger sometimes than the parking spaces themselves. So what we're trying to do is obviously create a place that is available for people to look at going into a commercial vehicle to do their day-to-day business. So yeah, definitely charging points at our depots.
And what was the big highlight? I mean, you talked about that Ionity moment where you drove up to a charger with the turtle on and you've got no power. That's clearly one of those highlights. But what was the other? Was there another moment when you were on the rally where the hair stood up on your arms and you thought, yes?
It's quite funny, really. It's probably Land's End, really, to be fair.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That place is absolutely beautiful. You pull up there and you realise you've done it, and then you get out your vehicle, and then you look at, and it was that restaurant, you know, when you come round and you could see out into the sea, and you see and you just think, wow. Yeah, just thought there's a massive world out there. And you also thought that what you've done is achieve something that really proves to people that the time is now. And that is exactly, the time is now. There's no excuses for people. The only excuses is profitability, and the possibility of disrupting the status quo. And that, for myself, really, as a business, that I don't see why logistics can't be looking a lot more into changing it quicker than what it is doing already.
You mentioned 2023 and the next rally. Are you going to be there?
Yes, without a shadow. We've got a thing. Obviously, we're ordering HGVs, electric HGVs, this year. So we were looking and thinking with James and Jamie as well, because they're good friends of ours. We love them. We was thinking whether to do, obviously, one of our HGVs, and they'll do it in one of theirs. But the problem is that it's not very great on the old mileage. So. And I'm not too sure. Obviously, we'll be able to use our charging infrastructure. That's fine. But I think from what I understand, I think there was 2 different plans of next year, and I think it will all be decided on what the plan is for next year, and see what the capability of the vehicle is afterwards. But there's also the possibility, to be honest with you, I think you had quite a nice time in the cars. You had a nice little barbecue, I hear.
Couldn't possibly comment.
There's brilliant, because Sam posted on our group, and I was the only one who had a little bit about me to be able to comment and say, "Stop rubbing it in, Sam," and put it on the thing. It was on the group, but no, yeah. So I'd like to possibly maybe even get some of our employees on it, rather than just me and Jay. Obviously, with Jason, my co-founder, as well. Instead of just us, maybe getting some employees on it, so they could drive a HGV maybe, and we'll go in a comfortable car.
Amazing, and it would be great to see you. You're a real character, Lee. Thank you for joining us today, and can't wait until next year. All the best with your funding round, and look forward to seeing a lot more and hearing a lot more from Green2 Delivery and Lee Sibley. Thank you so much.
Take care. All the best. See you later.
Cheers, buddy.
Thank you.
Take care, mate. See ya. Bye.